Hey, welcome to Tongue First, the podcast where queer questions meet honest chaos.
We're also lady-loving ladies, and I don't understand why the tongues aren't doing what they're supposed to be doing. This podcast is called Tongue First.
I'm Brooke Dale, your illustrious narrator. Tongue First is an unscripted, sapphic, and queer podcast hosted by Aubrey Siren Jones and Wendy Reeves. This week, they're joined by Jo del Carmen, queer Latinx author, TikTok storyteller, and the woman behind Women in Paper Cuts, a series of true sapphic short stories written with the kind of tension that makes you want to turn down the brightness, light a candle, and get in touch with yourself.
And that's why the series is called Women in Paper Cuts, because
Oh, fuck, that's a great name.
I kept thinking, what is like this pain that we can all relate to? It's a paper cut, and it's that sound. It stings, but it doesn't mean you're going to stop messing around with paper. And the reason they're also called paper cuts is because every woman was given, when the book is physically published, that cut of paper.
This one has everything. Coming out stories, sapphic slow burns, polyamory, favorite queer movies, the science of desire, and Jo reading live from her story, Irresistible.
Dude, we will catch a fucking flight and a feeling at the same time. Flights and feelings.
Yes.
Flights and feelings.
It gets tender, it gets spicy, it gets a little literary.
It's about making a woman feel safe, and then with the proper amount of consent, just ripping her apart.
Grab something warm, get comfortable, and go tongue first. This is episode 6, Sultry Stories, Sweat, and Sapphic and Sapphic Snacks with Jo del Carmen. Sapphic Snacks is not an easy phrase to say. Sapphic Snacks.
Everyone, come here. Sit down. I need to tell you a couple things real quick. Promise you're not in trouble. We have a website now at tonguefirstpodcast.com. We have episode pages, show notes, blog posts. Go be nosy. You know you want to. And our Patreon is live. If this podcast has ever made you laugh, cry, or text someone completely unhinged at midnight, this is how you help keep us going. Tiers start at $5 a month. There are only 3 Chaos Gremlin spots, and I will say absolutely nothing about that, except for the math is gay and very intentional. We have incredible guests coming, conversations that are going to wreck you in the best way, and a whole season ahead of us that I personally am very excited about. This community is the reason we keep showing up, and we are just getting started. tonguefirstpodcast.com. The link is in the bio. Go check it out. What are you waiting for? Okay, Jo's here, and she's way more interesting than me, so let's go.
My boss is Hispanic, and she tries to get me all the time.
And that is how we start the podcast, Wendy.
Exactly. I say the shit
the R's.
so white. like that.
We're also lady-loving ladies, and I don't understand why the tongues aren't doing what they're supposed to be doing. This podcast is called Tongue First. It's fine. Duolingo, and then I'll give you guys some non-sexual private lessons.
We go tongue first in other ways. We don't have to know.
Is it possible to sign up for sexual private lessons, though, or does it have to be non-sexual?
You know what? I haven't gotten to that level of the subscriptions because I'm just beginning my journey. So we'll talk about that later. But yeah, no, it's Jo del Carmen.
Jo del Carmen. Jo del Carmen. Carmen.
See, you can do that, but I can't. Jo del Carmen. That's how I'm going to say it, and I can't.
Jo del
literally
Carmen. Got it.
Jo del Carmen.
Jo del Carmen. I got you, Wendy Reeves. I got you.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I've literally tried to roll my R's my whole life and have been a disappointment since. I'm sorry.
And we know you're actively trying to not be a disappointment, so I'm proud of you.
Yes.
Yeah, so I think I appropriately have like my light for your Tongue First podcast as well.
Oh, that's perfect.
So it's just for you guys tonight.
You probably put that up just so like we would ask you to be like a returning guest like over and over again.
Oh yeah,
right?
yeah. It's just gonna be a poster of both of your faces. So it's gonna get really weird. Yeah.
Yay.
But yeah, the whole name is Joe del Carmen Vizcaíno Sandoval.
Bitch, fuck off.
That's a sexy name, though. I mean,
Bitch.
I would never be able to say that properly.
Because the thing is, and this is the feedback I get even when I'm on my lives, is, oh my God, can you please speak Spanish? And I'm like, pero claro, mi amor, gracias por venir a mi live. Like, te voy a leer una historia esta noche. And I just go on, and they don't know what I'm saying.
no. We don't need to, though.
Exactly.
No.
Exactly.
I'm just saying, I could never give your entire name the props and respect it deserves because I can't say it correctly in that beautiful of a way. I've tried. I just can't.
Well, that's why if you ever date a Latin woman, you would just get her name tattooed on your chest and they would compensate for the lack of the rolling R's.
Done. I would love a Latina.
And a
Wendy, we are getting tattoos this weekend. Should we get Joe's pen name tattooed on us?
We're getting tattoos this weekend or when we go to Florida?
Oh, I thought we were getting tattoos this weekend.
I mean, we can look. Joe, you want to come? We're going to Florida for our birthday.
I'm from Florida. I'm just happen to be here in Austin, Texas since the pandemic, but I am a 305 till I die gal.
305.
Yeah. Me and Pitbull are the same person. Yes.
Miami? Oh!
MIA. Yeah.
Yeah, baby.
Let's go.
That's where I got all my entertainment beginnings is Miami. It's a very, very colorful city. It's one of my favorite cities. It's ridiculous to live in now, but in the pandemic kind of, did what it did.
Yeah.
But Austin, Texas is just as lovely.
Well, before we get too carried away, let's introduce our guest. This is episode 5 of season 1 of the new. Is this episode 5? This is episode 6. This is episode 6. Holy shit, we've recorded 6 episodes. Episode 6 of season 1, official season 1 of Tongue First. And we have our third guest on. This is Joe. Joe is an amazing human being that I met through the TikTok app. She is a Sapphic short story author, professional maker of queer feelings, and someone who somehow manages to write the kind of tension that makes people stare at the wall afterwards, or themselves, or someone else. There's some eyes getting made.
And
We don't
all
judge.
based on true events, guys. That's the best part about my writings. I don't want to call myself a whore. I will not. Because why would we do that? I don't want to call myself a slut. I'd like to call myself experienced. So there is enough material for 3 volumes, and I'm working on volume 2, finishing up volume 1. But there are, let's call them case studies, right? Because women can be case studies. Over 24 experiences that I will be writing about. And right now I have only shared 8 with the public. Everything is true. It's very easy when you have a memory that is as vivid as mine to put that down on paper because you're looking for catharsis either way. And you're like, wow, that bitch broke my heart. And I feel it like I'm still 21. And you write it down. And then after that, I use the skill sets that I kind of picked up from my creative writing classes in college and my literary analysis classes. And that's kind of what's my major. And allows you to be poetic. And then I did like 7 years of songwriting and performing in Miami. So all of that experience blended together was just the right storm for let's start writing these short stories. Let's start sharing them and respectfully changing the characters' names so that these women can stay anonymous. But I'm not lying in any of the stories. And I think that's what allows me to create such tension because I was there.
You got it. I'm sure you make some small adjustments.
That's
for...
what I'm saying. Like 24, that's a lot of shit to remember. Over how many years?
So I lost my virginity at 23 years old. So I'm a late bloomer.
Okay.
So I had less years to work with. So 24 about in the last 14 years or so. And this is really like, sexual experiences, dating attempts, not many significant relationships. That's what makes them such great stories. It's the kind of stories that you buy your friend a beer and you're like, you will not believe what happened with me and this girl this past weekend. And that's where the stories kind of are inspired by. Do I tweak them a little bit? I remember that a party was outdoors and I decided to tell you how lovely the twinkling lights were and the atmosphere and the full moon and we have to romanticize it a little bit, of course.
Yeah.
And that's
that's part of being a writer.
Yeah.
You're using words. It's basically like binary, but a little extra complicated to convey with people these beautiful pictures of emotion, of interaction, of softness, of the beauty of relationship, the heartbreak of a breakup, of being disappointed of not seeing things the same way.
And that's why the series is called Women in Paper Cuts, because
Oh, fuck. That's a great name.
I kept thinking, what is like this pain that we can all relate to? And it's a paper cut, and it's that sound. It stings, but it doesn't mean you're going to stop messing around with paper. You always have to open a letter. You're going to have to, like, whether you're an artist, whether you're a writer, you don't stop messing around with the very thing that can leave a cut. And the reason they're also called paper cuts is because every woman was given, when the book is physically published, that cut of paper. You know, it's like Ariana has 10 pages, Mary has 9 pages. So every woman gets this homage because whether it's a one-night stand or a relationship, they left a mark and they made me who I am, but they're not deep scars. They were paper cuts.
Okay, so now I regular your lives, so I've seen these, and so has Siren. We've heard this vocabulary glitter, the effects. We love it. You are magical with words. You both are far better than me, so I'll just be funny and the good-looking one, and y'all could just be very smart. But I wonder, have you ever been in the middle of reading a portion of it, and has someone come in that is about, or you know, or that knows the person?
That's a good question.
No,
sometimes
I
I'm
would
fucking
say
smart.
no, at all. I think a lot of these women have had their own trials and tribulations, and they're just like not on social media. No, a lot of other things happen online.
Yeah. Yeah, they do.
A lot of other things happen online, and I don't know what rating is this podcast. Are we rated R? What's going on?
Whatever the
We're
highest
rated
rating
E
is.
for fucking everyone, okay?
Got it.
So,
Got it.
E for
we
everyone.
do not sugarcoat. You say what you say.
What TikTok has brought is an audience of women that need to hear a good story before bed. I've made it a very, not that I like to exclude anyone. We do have a lovely array of trans men that come and they subscribe and they're there. But the cis hetero male doesn't really come along and enjoy it, or they like try to like say something. And that's where my moderators come in and block these kind of really ignorant comments. But it's a very female driven live. It's a very female driven following that I'm building. And I love that. But women are sexual. And after the lives,
Yeah, we are.
Yeah, we are.
I will get messages saying, hey, I just came for you.
Oh, shit.
I've gotten some wild messages on TikTok, but I don't think I've ever gotten that one.
I just came for you. Please don't stop reading. I'm almost done.
Oh,
I'm in the
shit.
shower now. Can you say my name after you're done reading? TikTok's just kind of like that pay to play situation. That's essentially what the platform has done. And
Kind of.
so
yeah.
I won't just say anybody's name, but if they ask, I'll try to speak in my reading voice, and I will lower my voice a little bit and get a little crackly, and they really enjoy to hear if their name is Monica. I'll be like, oh, Monica, are you done? Are you done? Do you want me to finish you, Monica?
Can we do that one more time? But maybe, I don't know, just for fun, use the name Aubrey or Siren, maybe, just for a second.
What a slut.
A bit.
Aubrey, I think you're a really naughty girl. I think you are the naughtiest girl online, and I think you need to get spanked up and down until you realize where your place is. And that's just like crackly, and I have a lot of different intonations that I can use. When you're reading these stories, I kind of high pitch it a little bit when I talk about the women that I'm involved with, because they happen to be a lot more feminine than I am, and that's just how I hear them in my voice. So it'll be like,
Yeah.
hey, would you like to get some coffee? And I can do that. And I think it's just years of singing and years of training my voice helps the narration to kind of read a little bit of the quotations from every character.
Also, you were there and you're narrating that shit.
I'm there, I'm narrating. And that also leads to the not so fun parts of just kind of having breakdowns and panic attacks while you're reading these stories. And that's happened too.
Yeah. That's so real. I'm a poet myself, and I have a book published, and you know this, and most of the people on TikTok know this, although every time I share it, someone in my room is like, you wrote a book? And I'm like, where have you been for the last
Have
2
we
weeks?
met?
You've read some excerpts from it.
I do read some excerpts from it. I wrote a series of poems to my younger self. It was like a letter to my 7-year-old self, 13, 22, 31, and 33, which is the year I came out, from Aubrey. It's what the book is called, All My Love, Aubrey, and it's how I signed at the end of those letters. And I bawled my eyes out.
So you understand the breakdown. Yep.
Oh my God. Sometimes I read it, I can get all the way through it, and the emotion just doesn't connect. But there are times where like there'll be a line that has never broken me that I can't finish without my voice gone.
And that's the cool thing about these stories is I'm sure you included in your writing as well. I included my coming out process within the story. So it's kind of like an Easter egg. It's not discussed thoroughly, but I was shoved out of the closet. And that is an experience that a lot of people in the LGBTQIA plus community unfortunately still experience. Doesn't matter that it's 2026. If you have a family member or a friend that just doesn't agree with what lifestyle you've quote unquote chosen, they'll be like, oh, did you know that so-and-so is gay or queer or trans? And it led to a very difficult outing process for me. And so that story, which is called Girl on Point, is about getting your first girlfriend while your brother just outed you and your parents just completely exiling you and disowning you, and how that relationship really was never going to last because there was just too much trauma happening.
I talked about in the last episode, we talked a little bit about trauma bonding and why that's like it can be so easy to happen in sapphic relationship, because a lot of the time we come into these with these massive bits of trauma, and many times it's from men, and the place we feel safe to talk about it is with another woman, to share that experience, to share that compassion, that empathy, that moment of connection. And I said in the last episode, one of the issues with this is once you're done processing all this trauma, if the relationship is built on that, the only way to keep it going is find more trauma.
More trauma. Yeah.
So, I mean, I can turn the tables on you ladies as far as like your coming out process. Like, was that traumatizing, or did you guys have it easy?
No, mine was not traumatizing. There was really no coming out story. I moved out at 16. I didn't come out until I was in my early 20s, but like I have a sister that's gay that wasn't openly gay until a little bit past her 20s, and she's just a couple years older than me. But I feel like maybe my parents didn't really care about that because they were into doing drugs, selling drugs and being addicts. And like, that was really not a big deal that I went from this long relationship with one man to, okay, well, I'm dating women now. They really didn't have an issue with it.
They're like, we got bigger problems.
Yeah, we might go to jail tomorrow. Wow, Wendy, you should write a book. That's like the baseline.
I've been through a lot of shit, Joe. We got to talk about it. But
yeah,
I wanted to touch on this, just a PSA for everyone listening. Don't fucking out people. It's not your story to tell. It's shitty. You're a piece of shit if you do it. Fuck you. Fuck that. Fuck this. Okay?
Yeah. I would say unless someone is like fully out, like on social media, fully out with everybody, like...
It's never okay to tell someone else's story, though.
True, to an extent, right? I mean, we're public with our story in a lot of senses.
No, I just mean in that nature. Like, it's never your... If someone doesn't know what you're talking... Like, say I'm talking to Siren and I know something about Joe, and I tell Siren this thing about Joe. Like, Joe should be the one telling Siren that,
right?
Not me.
Yeah, it ends up being just like gossip, and within family members and stuff. It's great that you didn't have a difficult coming out process. It's terrible the circumstances in which why you didn't have a difficult coming out process.
Trauma makes us funny, though. That's why I'm so fucking funny.
It does make you funny, but going back to the bonding aspect, it also leads to really amazing sex.
Oh, yeah.
Trauma. Two women that are trauma bonding, because I do believe that sex is healing. 100%, whether it's my Latin South American roots, whether it's the fact that 4 generations of women in my family are actual herbalists and spiritual healers, but sex is healing if you have that intention. Some people have sex angry, and that's not very healing. But yeah, I think that's also what was happening throughout every story. Every woman had something going on, and I think that's what led them to me, or what led me to them, to have these experiences. You know, everyone was kind of lost, and it's that coming of age. That's why there's so many women, because I was constantly looking for something stable. And yeah, I don't have to tell you guys that you've all been through that journey, constantly looking for stability, constantly looking for safety. And interestingly enough, just like having been diagnosed this past month with autism, obviously like type 1, so very little assistance and like high verbal, high functioning, etc. But it just creates a different lens to view all this. I'm like, oh man, I've been trying to look for love since I could remember, because I want safety. And that's something that I think women can admit a lot easier than men, and especially neurodivergent women can admit.
Women are taught that the place to find safety is with someone else. I was going to ask, before we get too far away from it, we were talking about coming out. Like, what was your experience like? Did you date men before you came out, or
I was and I make a reference to it in my first story, but I allowed young gentlemen to ask me out to the movies, and I said yes, and I let them buy me museum tickets to the art museum, and I said yes. And they were very cute, and I attracted the most non-threatening men on earth, whether they were musicians writing me a song when I had like my hair long and flowy, but never a kiss.
I wonder how many songs have been written for lesbians by men.
So many. Men love a good lesbian. They think that they are
really
the
do.
strongest women. They think they are like, oh my God, like, look at her just taking over the world. And I'm like, yeah, that's because I like pussy. I'm your competition in a way. Like that. I'm
Yeah.
going after the same girl that you are. But no, I allowed them to take me out on dates. I think one was brave enough to ask me to be his girlfriend, and I said, hey, remember that story you once told me about what causes a car accident and how you just freeze and panic? That's what I did when you asked me to go out with you. I just froze and panicked and said maybe. So I don't think anybody wants to be told that asking you out is like a car accident.
No, definitely not like a car accident.
A lot of rejection. I think there was also
Never
like,
heard that analogy before, but maybe moving forward, I'll keep that in my back pocket,
Yeah.
just in case.
other
yeah.
than that, it was really straightforward. Like after a movie date, you see a young man trying to go into the window of my car to give me a kiss, and I just start like, and the window just starts
Bye,
going
bitch.
up, and I'm like,
That's so
thank you
fun.
so much. I loved the movie.
As you're driving away, while
as
their-
I'm driving
their
over
head is
his foot.
halfway and
So no, I
Yeah.
was a gold star, if that is even used still.
We
As
were
a
talking
term.
about that last
Yeah.
episode, actually.
gold, platinum, silver, copper. What are we doing?
It's giving a sense of like you're better than everybody because you didn't.
Yeah.
like,
Right.
It's exclusion.
'Cause
We
you
were
fell
taught the
out of-
term. Yeah.
You fell out of one coochie into another, so you're far more superior. I get it. Like, hey,
There was definitely experimentation, just because I didn't have
Sure.
a boyfriend. I was like, oh, hey, John. I'd call up my friend from church, right?
Of course.
From youth group. Hey,
I was
John.
a youth pastor for 11 years as part of my
I
story.
do know that, which I love the irony. I love
so wild.
everything.
It's so wild.
Do you still keep in touch with anyone that you led?
At Pride this past year, I ran into someone who was selling homemade stained glass that I had as a youth group kid. Yeah, his name was Jonah. Or his name
Aw.
is Jonah, and he sells little stained glass snails. And I got one that had like trans pride colors on it.
Aw.
Actually, my girlfriend bought it for me before she even knew that this was someone who I used to know. And he flagged me down while I was skating. Maybe I was already at his booth. I don't remember, but
Yeah.
it was wild, that reunion of like, oh shit, like you knew it. Not just a very different version of me, but like a different version of me that I put on all the masks for that
all the
shit.
masks, and if you want to find at least 3 out of
Speaking
5
of masks,
gay
being
people,
surrounded by 3 of them is amazing. I just wanted to say that out loud.
this is my dream come true. Yeah, I mean, if you want to find gay people, go to a youth group.
Oh my God, yeah,
Yeah.
right?
We
You didn't
are,
have to have sex if you
because
went to
we're
youth
probably
group.
trying to pray the gay away if we're in our early teens.
gay in
we're
the pray away.
we're probably doing this.
Yeah.
And
What was wild for me is like, I'm coming to realize, especially after experimenting with men in my early 30s after coming out, that I've been gay this whole time. I've liked women this whole time. And
you were
almost
just a
every
woman.
relationship that I had was fucking hella sapphic, even before I came out. And like, especially because I got involved in church 13, 14, and I gave my life to Christ. And I was like, fuck that. I feel so broken. They're going to fix me. Like they
Mhm.
promised they'd fix me. So fucking fix me. And I just had the wool pulled over my eyes for a long time. But when I realized it and like explored all these past relationships, I'm like, I've been so gay this whole time. Like the whole time.
And that's a
Like,
journey in and of itself. Like some of us just
Yeah.
come out, but you're just like, I'm a lesbian. You know what I mean?
Right. And that's been a process of discovery. And I wouldn't say that I'm 100% lesbian. I feel like there's probably a man out there that I'd fuck with.
You're like a 95%
Yeah.
5 or what? What's the percentage here?
Probably like 95%, 5%, maybe 98%.
I would
2%.
have to say same, just based on some experiences at drag shows where
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, that is a very beautiful man that I wouldn't mind doing things to. And then I turn to my wife and I'm like, what does that mean?
I'm all about curiosity. Like, I'm so curious too. Like, I met this random guy when we were in New Orleans for Mardi Gras this year. We were up on one of the balconies at this really cool vampire speakeasy that you had to talk to some person and tell them the vampires sent you to even get in. It was wild. But his tongue was split down the middle. And if we were there any longer, I was gonna be like, you want to make out just a little bit? Because he bought me a drink. I just want to know what this is like, just for fun.
Gasp.
You know,
I'm
I'm
not
curious.
that bold.
I'm a curious
I'm not that
bitch.
bold.
Yeah, I would like everyone to know that I am 100%. There's no 95.5.
That's fair. That's allowed.
I thought about it while you were talking, and I was like,
I thought about it.
but like, I can just recognize a really handsome man and be like, oh my gosh, you're so fucking hot.
Right.
But
yeah, but I
But
don't
you
want them
don't-
to
you
have
don't like the
facial
dingle
hair,
hopper.
Wendy, and I don't want to. I
no dingle
want.
hopper.
Let's be real about what we're talking about, and that's why I asked about the rating of this podcast, because I'm talking about I want to make that very fragile, thin, beautiful man scream because I am in charge. So
yeah.
there's dynamics, but I
Rather
don't want
do
him.
that with women though. Just no dingle hoppers.
Yeah, it's just
Or maybe
fun.
just watch somebody else do it. You could do it, and I could just be like, this is a learning moment. This is a teachable
I'll
moment.
invite you when I get the opportunity. I'll just
Like, let me
It's actually going to be my next live, and I'm just going to be banned.
take down some
Just-
notes.
It's going to be your next and last live on TikTok.
My next and last live, I will be completely dominating a very fragile, flamboyant, tiny man that's beautiful. So, done.
I don't know if you've had this issue, Joe or K-Rock, that I have had very feminine gay men hit on me.
Yes, they love us.
Gay men love mass lesbians.
They want you because you
So
look like an
I'm just
adorable boy. They want you.
I was at a club one time, and he was such a beautiful little, he just like rubbed my face and was like, you're so fucking cute.
I just wanted to be known I've never had this problem.
I just came out, I was like, I have some panic going on. And I was like, oh, okay. Well, I didn't know that was the thing, but all right, we're learning things. So yeah.
Yeah, it's something that I've discovered. I have a few gay men just following on TikTok that will comment like, "Hey, I'm gay, but also you caught my attention," and I'm like, I don't know what to do about that. Like, I can't do anything about that. But
thank
you, thank you so much.
You tell stories about Sapphic romance, and I'm sure you read a lot of stories about Sapphic romance. Do you have like a favorite novel or a favorite something that you go
Favorite
back to
author?
read?
Favorite writer?
wow.
So
Favorite narrator?
So I would say in my early 20s, when you're like kind of in that coming of age, Joyce Carol Oates, Foxfire. If you watch the movie, it was one of Angelina Jolie's first queer roles aside from Gia.
Yes.
And she actually ended up dating the woman who was her cast member in that movie. But Joyce Carol Oates is one of my favorite American writers. Like I said, I was nerding out in college, studying English literature and literary analysis. And she was just, oh God, if we're going to talk about a poet, holy crap, Joyce Carol Oates and the queerness that she created in that book, Foxfire. It's meeting a group of women. It's meeting people. It's meeting your tribe in real life, right? Because we're here online and that's how we're meeting our tribe, but it's beautiful. And so it has everything from kind of becoming blood sisters and all this really intense treehouse stuff and like abusive parents and running away and you got to go to your girlfriends. And then there's this just intensity, no boys allowed, ganging up on boys if they try to sexually harass them. Like, there is so much in that book that I think molded who I wanted to be. And in fact, when doing my research on how I wanted to write certain paragraphs, I did some research and I said, how would Joyce Carol Oates write this?
I love that you said Gia. I mean, I've seen both films, but Gia was like my gay awakening. Angelina Jolie in that movie was fucking fantastic in every way. And I don't know why, but her cry turns me on in some weird way.
It's a tough one.
I don't know. Like, it's
a tough
such a
one.
good movie, but I was so attracted to Angelina Jolie at that moment.
I think every man and woman is attracted to Angelina Jolie till this day. However, that Gia was rough. Gia was rough because of the addiction aspect. One thing that, just as Siren asked about what book kind of like, what's your favorite? When you talk about movies, I think one of the long problems or like issues that we've had in the community is just having like, which lesbian movie actually has a happy ending, right? That's kind of something in the culture that just is constantly addressed. So with Gia, it was rough because I was like, oh man, are there stable women out there? Is there a stable relationship? What are we being taught early on? But yes, as far as like the sexiness of it and the way she seduced the makeup artist, I believe.
Fence, her up against the fence naked. Holy shit. Holy shit.
I don't think I've seen this movie.
Damn it, Siren.
Then I think you need to leave. No, I think you need to leave right now and watch it. Like, let's end the podcast.
Just
everybody pause the podcast, go watch the movie and come back.
Because Siren needs to go touch herself to Gia. I mean, Wendy's nodding because she knows what's up. She's like, yes, you're going to want to be naked for this one.
K-Rock, have you seen it? Okay, good.
K-Rock is our producer. If anybody has not heard us mention K-Rock yet, she's also in the room.
But yeah, no, I mean, do you guys have any movies? I mean, Wendy just said her gay awakening movie might have been Gia, but anything that kind of sparked your guys' interest?
Have you ever seen Blue is the Warmest Color?
Why do you like the most depressing movies? Wendy, I'm
a sucker for like real shit, real deep.
I understand,
but
we deserve happy endings.
True, but tell me, have you ever seen a movie with a gay cast, whether it's lesbian, trans, gay men, that ends good?
Yes, and I will give you.
Tell me, please.
Imagine Me and You, the rom-com.
I haven't saw that. So I just saw the preview for it literally yesterday and I was like, I need to fucking watch that.
Was she struggling? Was she engaged to a man? Yes, but she came to realize that she was in love with the hot florist. And so, as women, we applaud and we say, oh, there's hope. I'm gonna find love. Not,
What about Better Than Chocolate?
Have you seen Happiest Season? It's a
horrendous. I wanted to kill the protagonist the entire time, or shall we say unalive.
A bit, but like.
But Aubrey Plaza, saved it all.
I love Aubrey Plaza.
I can put Aubrey Plaza in her place anytime.
If I was a teen now, Aubrey Plaza would probably be my gay awakening.
Yeah, I mean, because she gives like dommy mommy vibes.
I was just about to say that. You read my mind. Mommy.
Oh my God, Wendy, are we the same person? Yeah.
I think so.
But did you see, honey, she was in a movie. She was a police officer. She had, oh my God. I'm not gonna
Honey Boo Boo.
No.
Way wrong answer, ma'am.
Aubrey. Now I gotta look it up. Honey Don't.
She's in it?
Honey Don't.
Honey Don't. We get to see Aubrey Plaza have a lovely lesbian sex scene. So if you haven't watched Honey Don't, just literally Google it, look at what platform you can watch it. I watched it in theaters, so I got to see her 25 feet tall, fucking a woman and rolling around in bed, and it was everything we've imagined.
When did this movie come out?
God, you know, Wendy, we got to educate you.
I feel like this is K-Rock's
seen
job
this movie.
to Google the thing and be like, hey, it's this.
It would be. K-Rock, step it up. No, I'm kidding.
K-Rock's wildly distracted by the gorgeous masked lesbian on the other side of the camera right now.
Is that K-Rock's partner?
One of
them.
Is K-Rock a lovely polyamorous practicing human being?
Tripod, triathlon,
Trinity.
The Holy Trinity.
Holy Trinity. Got it.
Yeah.
The trifecta.
I am now too. Also, you know anything about me?
Really? Oh my
Let's
God!
just educate you on what's happening.
Yeah,
guys,
all around us.
Me too.
Yeah,
holy
let's
shit!
Go. Everybody's just doing the thing.
I can't even get one, and all you hoes have several.
No,
Listen,
fuck you, Wendy. We just had a phone call today about the two people that you're like, really, you're like,
Wendy,
hey, are you guys
also
cool
go
if it
into
becomes poly?
bedrooms and people line up to make out with you. So like I feel
That's
like
true.
you're just on a different path.
That's true.
I will say to expand your relationship, it takes just as much trauma as to develop one. I feel like it's a lot of emotion involved in opening up a relationship and having that talk with your partner.
Emotionally intelligent, yeah.
You do have to be emotionally intelligent, and sometimes you're not. And sometimes you say stupid shit, and sometimes you're insensitive. I've been really open about it in my live, and so I've had my viewers and my subscribers just tell me like, how's this going? And you know, I don't know if you guys have any questions about it. I'm really surprised that like Siren.
Yes, tell me everything. I want to know everything there is to know. Tell me.
No, we can
Names,
talk about
places, dates, positions.
All I knew is that Siren like would be like, I made out with a few people, because that's the voice that Siren has in my head. This weekend I made out with a few people.
I just
whatever.
made out with like everybody.
Yeah, like
Siren,
much exactly how it
100% in my head sounds like a schoolgirl. So I was like, oh my God, I just made out with 5 people, and like they were just all curious, and I was curious, and so we got curious together.
Listen, when you come out at 33, 34 years old, I feel like if you give yourself the opportunity to experience what being in your early 20s is like, but instead of trying to match culture's mold for you, just be yourself. It opens up some wild experiences and opportunities.
And plus, it's clinically studied that there are stages of actual second puberty, essentially feelings and hormone rushes. So not only did you come out late in life, but you also came out as trans. So it's not just like I'm gay, it's I'm trans. I'm like, oh, how many puberties am I having? So it all actually tracks on a neurological level. And that's just me being a nerd, like my little autistic nerd stuff. But I do the research because I'm super curious about why do people behave a certain way.
On my second puberty, by the way. Think of like the fact that most cis women go through puberty in their teen years, right? The major parts of puberty.
Mm-hmm.
They have almost no responsibilities.
That's true.
They just have to worry about their shit and getting through their shit. Meanwhile, I'm in my 30s. I have to hold down a job and pay for my mortgage, plus take care of 2 children, one of which is still very much in diapers and requires all of my energy. And I'm meanwhile crying because I dropped my toast on the floor, like what the fuck?
Let's give it up for Siren. Is Siren the only parent on here?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, congratulations and condolences.
Excuse me, what about Titus? That's my child.
Yeah, that is your child. You did birth Titus, but Titus is now like a grown-ass man.
He is. He's geriatric. It's fine.
Yeah, I have 2 little puppies, and every time I have to tend to them, I'm just like, oh, I could never do this with a child. I can't. I'm too busy reparenting myself. That's why, Siren, you get so many props, because you are also reparenting yourself in this puberty and this curiosity, and then your kids are having questions, and you're like, I don't even know the answer to that yet. Let me catch up.
So, I don't even know who I am right now.
Do you know what's crazy, though, about kids, and I don't think people get this as much, is kids, like, they're going to ask the questions, but they're not asking the same questions that adults are asking. They're not asking the same questions that adults think that kids are asking. My oldest, biggest concern about Bo, who's Bodemac, Booby, as we call her on here sometimes.
Booby.
My 9-year-old's biggest concern is whether or not she'll play mini golf video game with him when he gets back from school. That's his biggest. And honestly, he's so stoked to have, because this is the newest thing in my household. My kids were very young when I came out as trans, and they only have known life really now with 2 moms. And that's normal for them. So I'm sure at some point they may be asking questions like, why? But I can't imagine with because I know I love my kids better now than I ever did before.
Yeah, you're happier.
I'm happier. I have more joy. I have more space.
You're normalizing a different sort of lifestyle that is going to be normal to them growing up versus the shit that we thought was normal when we were growing up. And kids are so resilient, you know what I mean? And Booby will probably always say
but, like,
yes.
This isn't a wound
the
for them. You know what I mean? Like, they're resilient. Kids are resilient to like wounds and stuff. This isn't a wound. This is like, this is
it's not
more
anything they have to heal from.
Right. I hope not.
But
fuck.
This
But
is
I mean, I'm gonna like, we all traumatize our kids. All parents traumatize their kids in some way. They got some healing to do.
Yeah, at one point in time, there could be a situation curious about that when they're a little bit older and more understanding of their life and how they've been raised. And they see other kids that are normal,
Right.
have normal, heterosexual cis parents.
What's crazy about those other kids, they're generally assholes.
Yeah. Yeah. Facts.
Like, more often than not, they're assholes. If their parents queer, I'm like, that's going to be a good kid.
Nicest kids I've known have been raised by single mothers. Best girls and guys. Doesn't matter how you identify. They were just single moms and grandmas and involved and just raised by women. And they were the best human beings that I've met.
Do you think it's because when you're queer or you're in these different situations that you're a lot more patient and you have to give people a lot more grace? Sometimes, to me, unfairly, we have to give people grace that they don't have to expect from us because of who you are.
Is the question like, I believe that the kids have grace or the moms have grace?
No, the moms have grace, because if it's a situation where it's just a mom only, or a trans mother, or a gay couple, gay dad, two dads, two moms, I feel like the parent is better in an aspect because they have to give people a lot more patience and grace.
I think part of it, and I'm just unpacking this right now myself as a parent, I think a lot of it might have to do with realizing how different I am now than when I was a kid, but also the feelings and the thoughts that I had as a kid were still very real. And I'm revisiting those feelings a lot more often, maybe, than someone who doesn't have to. So we're like, I don't know, revisiting my childhood experience. My kids are 9 and 6, and they're their own people. They are crazy, unique individuals that I'm not going to try and steal any bit of their personhood and individualness in that. And I feel like so often people are trying too hard to make their kids' childhood match their own.
Yes.
This got really Dr. Phil like, guys. This particular conversation.
We could be talking about fucking your mom in my Subaru in 2 minutes. I mean, not your mother. But I'm just saying.
Well, I was going to ask Siren, going back to what we just mentioned and revealed to Wendy, how are the kids, or when do the kids ever, or how did you and your partner decide on that expansion of the relationship?
We didn't really decide on the expansion of our relationship, which is crazy. It just kind of happened. And we weren't looking for another person in our relationship. I don't think when it all kind of started shaking down this way that even Bo was looking for a relationship with anybody, because she was married at the time to a man, unfortunately.
Whoa.
Yeah. So we went to New Orleans, and with like 19, 20 of the people from this community, and made connections. And after we dropped Bo off on the way home from it, Squeezy, my 2.5-year partner, looks at me and is like, so how do we get Bo to leave her husband and come be our third? Like, that was like the first thing she said to me when we stopped crying after we dropped her off. It was so real and so intense for all three of us that it was just so clear. It was so abundantly clear that this was something that needed to happen.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome that you
Yeah.
feel like it wasn't a choice. It just kind of evolved.
Yeah.
Mine was a choice, and it was a little, it's complicated. Very, very complicated. Brought it up to our couples therapist, kind of tried to be very strategic about it. Essentially, it was always kind of mentioned in my relationship in the last 4 years that we were going to need a third, primarily due to my own sexual curiosities and my own needs to explore different things sexually. And my beautiful, beautiful wife is very feminine, not one to initiate something, not one to be very aggressive. And I realized that I can be a bit of a switch sometimes. So I was like, I need more aggression. I'm in this beautiful relationship that is the type of relationship that you can build a life with, but that doesn't mean that you're going to be completely sexually satisfied. So it started off with like a sexual exploration, a sexual search, and in true lesbian fashion, I obviously ended up developing feelings. We talked about dating and like calling someone, my girlfriend. That didn't feel right, because if I were to be completely honest, the person that I'm currently talking to and that my wife is very aware of and that travels out to Austin to see us probably once every 3 months, etc., is like kind of dating myself. And so we butt heads a lot, but the sex is fabulous. So we're like, you know what? We got to keep it. We're great friends. The conversation is awesome. It's like having like your autistic best friend who likes coffee and you just happen to have sex sometimes. So I wouldn't say partnership or thruple or triplet or trinity, but more of a, we needed something. And due to the fact that Ari is in fact chronically ill, just made it like the universe kind of put it all in one place. Literally, when I first met this non-monogamous lover, my wife ended up in the ER that night that lover landed in Austin.
God.
So, as somebody who stopped praying the gay away but still believes in higher powers, I said, oh, okay, this is supposed to happen to test out what this is like, because my theory is that if you have a partner and they're chronically ill, there's a couple of things that can happen, right? A lot of partners will leave their partner. They're like, I can't do this. You're chronically ill. Like, I'm out. And that's happened, and I've heard the stories. Or you can stick around and you can kind of see like where you need help. And I think it was going from 0 to 100. We became sister wives. We thankfully got an Airbnb with 2 bedrooms. And my wife ended up moving into our Airbnb. And it was supposed to be my first time meeting this person. So it became, I don't know, Mormon Wives of Austin. I don't even know what to call it. Like, it was just this new person that I had just met and just kissed for the first time and just had sex with for the first time. Got to meet my wife in a very incapacitated state, and we were just taking turns bringing her juice to her bed as she was healing. And I was like, this is why women work. Right. We literally had all these like egos and certain intentions, and we're like, one of us is down. Code red, code red. Everyone become a nurturing maternal figure. That made things a little complicated between, obviously, but we were there for each other. And at this point, she's one of my best friends. I could probably never date her in like the sense of sharing a life and finances and logistics, because we would kill each other. But one of my best friends, love her. And the sex is very exploratory, very fun. I get to explore something with someone that is also very switch. I get to explore something with someone that is younger than I am, which is kind of fun because I've only ever fantasized about that. And then you guys can tell me if it's just TMI and when you want me to stop.
No, this has been great. I'm locked in. I'm
like actually, I'm popping popcorn because I have no idea what you're about to say
My
next.
pants have been off this whole time.
You are lucky that you're a cute girl, because no man would be able to say that and get away. I would have hung up immediately. I would have been like, fuck this shit. But
That's
you're
not
lucky.
the podcast I signed up for.
Yeah, I was like, no, it's just I don't really love men and what they think they can do. So.
And it's getting like, when the reality of it keeps getting uncovered more and more.
Oh my God, yes.
It's worse and worse. It scares me.
I went to an Ashley Gavin comedy show with my wife. Comedian Ashley Gavin always wears a backwards hat. Very, very gay. She came to Austin. We saw her perform. Her opener, literally, I started, like, I'm not a rude guest at live performances, but I started kind of singing the intro to the Special Victims Unit. I was like, dun dun doo 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 doo. The guy was making lesbian jokes, but he's not queer. And then he started bonding with the only straight men in the room, talking about their penises. And I was like, there are 150 lesbians, and a lot of them coupled up. Every masked lesbian held their woman so tight because we didn't know what was happening in this comedy show. It was horrendous. So when it comes to entertainment, men have a chip on their shoulder about what they think they can do if they're in a room full of women, queer or not. And I got a beef with that. Like, I just want to punch him in the face. But
Or the famous, you just haven't met the right man yet. Like, I don't want to. Get away from me.
Correct. Lots of terrible things. But yeah, if you guys want me to keep telling you what I'm exploring.
I have questions.
Go, ask.
Yeah, pause for questions.
Questions, because I'm a curious girl. Okay, this person that you are in this situational ship every third month, how long have you known them?
5 months.
So, okay. I thought when you said best friend, I thought maybe it's somebody you'd known for a really long time.
No, it's just someone that I clicked with, and we're like besties now.
Did you also meet them off of TikTok? Because we have a couple of those. Shit. See? I mean, it all is full circle.
Y'all are getting on dating apps and shit. The
it makes
real
it
game
easier
is get a TikTok
when
account.
you have a woman telling you that she's already touching herself to you. So how it works.
See, that's not something I haven't gotten that. Wendy, I haven't gotten that from a random message from someone. Have you gotten that before?
I mean, someone just told me the other day they wanted to sit on my face.
Yeah, that's called a sexual advance.
Yeah,
that works.
That would be.
I was like, get your cooter cat away from me, you Jezebel. I'm demisexual.
Oh,
We need to
I know.
first.
Shut up.
oh.
It's so cute.
Look, in this whole poly realm, it's making me think about things, and maybe it might be a situation that I might want to explore because I've never have. And I just want to feel like more than one person fucking wants me and is consistent and considerate for a length of time. So
That's like my crying noise that I make when I really want to cry.
It feels really good to feel desired.
like I have people that desire me. I don't desire everyone back because I'm demisexual. So it's hard for me to like physically and mentally be attracted to someone at the same time. I can physically be attracted to a lot of people, but once you're talking or I see a little bit about yourself, that can go right out the window.
I think I lucked out that this person ended up being really cool. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
It wasn't just, hey, I'm touching myself. It was that. And then me
Right.
going, please hold. So I won't even respond to people unless my wife is aware. So I ran over to the bedroom and I said, hey, I need your consent. Is this a yay or nay? And she can say no. And I'm totally cool with that. But she
Right.
said yes. And that led to conversation, which led to phone calls, which led to, hey, I want to meet in person. And if there's any group of women that will make something happen out of nothing, it's a group of lesbians. So
That's exactly.
Yeah.
We will catch a fucking flight and a feeling at the same time. Flights and feelings.
yes.
Flights and feelings.
Yes, that's exactly what we do. It's just going to be Wendy DMing me. So what happened?
What? Do you
What
have
happened
pictures?
next?
Do you have a video?
Yes,
Like-
the photos came very quickly, and the photos were all very rated R plus. I don't even know, rated Z. And it was like, this was me touching myself last week to you.
Whoa.
And I was like, I'll take it. I'll take 2. Let's do this.
Yeah.
The bravery.
Sometimes
in
you just
that
got to
one.
be that forward with people.
Shoot your fucking shot.
Yeah.
The bravery.
Do I know this? Is this someone that I would know their username
Do
just from
we
like
know
being in
them?
your spaces every once in a while?
I'm going to have to leave that up to them. I will be discussing
Facts.
things with
Consent
them.
is everything.
Consent is all. But whether it's saying a woman's name while I'm reading or another woman saying, so you're in Austin, what do I have to do to get there? And me not being interested. You know, because we have some ladies that are very eccentric out there, and I don't necessarily want them to know where I live. But they're hot nonetheless.
They are shooting their shots.
They are shooting their shot, and then like the person that I'm already talking to is on the live, and they're like battling them. It's like a battle of the sex comments because they get jealous. It's crazy.
TikTok gets spicy. It gets so
It can.
spicy sometimes.
Yeah, it can.
And that's why I can't imagine continuing to grow and getting followers the way that Siren does or the way that some of the other bigger LGBTQIA influencers do, because it can be very overwhelming for my brain. But I have a boutique talk. That's what I call it. It's a boutique talk. It's a little
I
boutique.
love it.
People come in and it still gets spicy. It still gets very traumatic somehow.
There's a lot of expectations when it comes to all of us being on the platform that people think that just because you follow us and you're in our platforms and you're alive that we owe you something in some sort of
Yeah.
capacity. But sometimes we have to put that down and be like, I don't owe you anything because you're here. You choose to be in
I
this
choose.
space.
Regardless of what you give and who you are. And I've made that mistake before early on in my TikTok career, trusting someone who I shouldn't have.
I keep the boundaries pretty up high. I think I don't even DM many people. I have some really cool subscribers and people that really support the lives, and I do giveaways with them and stuff, but that's about it. They trust me. I do like my holiday stuff and kind of, yeah.
I just
that-
remembered I have a Polaroid of you licking a candy cane on my fridge.
Oh,
That's right, you do.
I haven't seen this at all.
do. Oh my God. I'm going to have to get it later.
Can I get one this Christmas, please?
You got to be a subscriber.
I gotta be a subscriber.
Done. Say less.
Fine.
Wow.
Fine.
Say less.
I don't know why this got aggressive.
I feel the heat turning up in this room right now.
It's what the New York hat does to me. No, I'm kidding. I have a bromance with
it's-
Wendy.
Yes.
I think we probably have the same type. We're probably into the same type of lady. I can't wait to sit down and have a beer with Wendy.
We make that happen.
I'm not that kind of lesbian. I don't drink beer.
Oh, I meant a probiotic drink that's good for your gut.
Yeah, that's definitely the kind of
That's
lesbian.
totally not the drink either.
The fuck
We'll
do you-
do an old fashioned
Are you gay?
old-fashioned.
Oh, got it. Okay.
or a
She's
fruity
that kind of
drink.
gay.
We're
Got it,
we're
got it,
either
got it.
or. We just don't fuck with vodka or gin.
Got it. Okay. Well,
So,
It sounds
Siren.
like it sounds like a date.
you got a
I'm
question?
very excited for you guys. It's exciting.
Me too. I love a bromance.
I love
I do
it.
too.
I need
I do too.
more. I need someone that I can throw a
Same.
football with, guys. I need to throw a fucking football. I'm yelling at this point. The fuck.
Do it.
I haven't thrown a football in like 6 years, and I grew up with brothers and male cousins, and I know how to throw a really good spiral, and I have a really good 3-point shot, and it's just not enough connection with masks and with just like honestly, even with men, kind of fizzled out. But
Yeah, there has to be sports. I'm not a sporty.
did you say you're
not
not a
sporty.
sporty?
I'm not
You
a
don't think
sporty spice.
Beer and you're not sporty? Get out of here, Wendy. I don't even. I can't.
Joe is trying to steal Wendy's mask card right
I'm
now. I don't think I've ever
trying
seen
to-
this
I'm
happen, but
trying
I
to
love
You
it.
bond.
can't steal my mask card because I fuck bitches, okay? With strappy dappy doos. So you're not stealing it. It's my title and my throne, but I'm just a girl inside here.
I've only used a strappy dappy do once in my life, and I ripped it off and said, "Fuck this shit. I'm better with my hands." And then I made the girl come. So
Mhm.
I mean, well, you can make them come with both things,
no.
and it's fun in a way. So
See, let's turn it up. Let's turn up the spice level just a little bit. I see. I would agree. One of the biggest turn-ons about making a girl come is like feeling.
Mm-hmm.
You can
Yes.
fucking feel
Yes.
it on your finger. Like you can feel
Yeah.
that shit happen. That's the satisfaction in that. I like. No.
Well,
no.
K-Rock
The
being
sh-
felt up as we're talking about
Yeah,
this?
I think
yeah.
I think our
Yes.
producer is currently being felt up, which is
Did they
kinda
just
rude.
get into like
Yes.
the red light district and like are
yes,
they?
they did. They are.
Is this?
Absolutely.
Are we watching porn? I don't know what's happening.
We are definitely watching
Because
porn.
I didn't consent to this.
we just
K-Rock,
see a hand.
I didn't
that's it.
consent to this. You're supposed to be a producer. I need you to professionalize your boobs.
Oh shit. Oh shit.
We're gonna dock your pay.
Or I can just
Yeah.
pretend to be doing the same thing, and I can just go like this and do the same thing.
Yeah. Just,
I was about to say, I know firsthand, you can't control her.
no, you can't control her. She's
Just
feral as fuck.
Spank her up. Oh, sorry. Did I say that? I apologize.
Yeah.
But we were in New Orleans together, all of us, and me and the person off screen, the person with K-Rock
Mhm.
right now, Kayla, she lathes. So Kayla and I had been on co-host together and in each other's lives and pretty flirty. And like as a trans woman, as a trans lesbian, sometimes it's hard for me to tell the difference between who's just doing it because they're nice and they're trying to be inclusive and who's like actually flirty. Who's going to put their money where their mouth is, or my mouth where their mouth is, or something else where their mouth is? Like, who's going to actually do that versus just talk about it? We got to meet each other in New Orleans because she came down to spend time with the two people that she had met and then the rest of our crew who had rolled up in this. And I tell one story already. I'm not going to tell that one again. But later on in the week, we were at this gay bar, the oldest gay bar in the country, actually.
Ooh.
We were playing beer pong against these two gay guys, and we were trying to distract them in the way that you would think that you'd distract a couple of lesbians, but like it obviously wasn't going to work on them. It was very fun in engagement, but this all ended up with, after we lost, she came up to me and she was like, "Hey, let's play like me versus you, and if you win, you can do whatever you want to me, and if I win, I can do whatever I want to you." Do you think I won that game? No, I did not win that game. Do you think I lost on purpose? Maybe not on purpose, but I stopped trying
You
hard.
just left the table and got a drink and let her.
I stopped trying hard, and I got to imagine there's been way more men in that bathroom doing what we did, but
Mhm.
you know, we had to femme it up a bit. That was wild. It was a wild ride. It was like 7 Minutes in Heaven at a bar in downtown New Orleans, but I had to hold on to things.
Okay, I thought it was just gonna be I had to hold on, and I'm like, period, and I was like,
No,
damn.
to things to stay stable because it was, yeah, it was interesting.
mean-
so let's bring that into that. I want to talk about Sapphic love and help define that word for people, because I feel like you introduce yourself as a Sapphic short story erotica author, basically. I think you use the word erotica in it, but you're like a Sapphic short story writer. And I love the way that you talk about desire. I love the way that you talk about that lingering feeling, that intense buildup feeling into things. But one of the questions I sent you ahead of time was, why do you think we connect so deeply as queer women with that yearning, slow burn dynamic?
My God, I mean, it's all intellectual for us. I mean, whether even to analyze the scenario that you just described in New Orleans, I mean, there was something going on in each individual's minds before it ever happened. There was something that went on in each individual's mind a month before it happened, 2 months before it happened. It starts with an image, it starts with a fantasy, and women have such a gift and such an ability to bring that fantasy to life, but with such tenderness. We have every sort of nurturing capability to make someone feel safe and sexy. And of course, I think in this podcast alone, we've said the word consent, whether jokingly or real, like 100 times. It's about making a woman feel safe, and then with the proper amount of consent, just ripping her apart at the same time. And I have no problem saying that to a woman, like, I will rip you apart. And that is confidence. So women are confident as well, especially in a space that they feel safe. So it's we are such beautiful creators of safety and like erotica within our own minds. And if you guys ever read tarot, or if you guys have ever had that tarot read, we are the magicians. We are the creators. We are the manifestors. I was about to say that.
Like,
we are the magicians. And I think, Siren, you have some of those kind of like super mystical tattoos as well. And so do I. I think, God, women can do something that men will never be able to do. And it's creating a sense of safety, a sense of sisterhood, a sense of maternal aspect. There's so many psychological things that go into a woman's orgasm with another woman that we can never recreate in a heterosexual experience. So I think it's psychological. That's why our psyches are so intertwined with so many of the different roles that we play in life, and we look for that safety, and safety equals great orgasms.
That's true. That's so fucking true. Have you ever read the book Come As You Are?
No.
Oh my gosh, you really should.
Have you ever read my story, Coming in LA?
No, I haven't read it, but you've read it to me.
I've
before.
read it to you. Yes, I have. I don't, it's not published yet, but yeah. No, I haven't.
It's called It's a nonfiction. It's about the science of desire and sex and orgasm, based on the premise that we're all made up of the same parts, just in different configurations. And so much of it is about that feeling of like safety. So even like wearing socks if your feet are cold could completely change the scenario for people. It's wild when you walk into stuff like that.
And to tie that into another experience and a story that I read, which is House Warm Me. In that story, it's one of my viewers' favorite lines. It's being stuck in a bedroom with someone, but this person being inebriated and luring me in. And the phrase at the end of this scene is, fuck me like a slut. And that's a demand that I was given. But the minute that I saw the inebriation, I was like, well, we're not going to do this like this. So let's go to bed. Here's your water. You immediately switch over to this nurturing, to this friendship. To the next morning, that's when I fucked her like a jackhammer.
Yeah.
With consent.
With consent.
With consent.
Which is so important.
So important.
And it's so easy. It's so easy to do that and be that human and be that person. Just to be like, you are not all the way in a consensual space in your mind. Let's table this till the morning time.
And women have pride in themselves, I think, in a very different way. I think statistically we know that if we look at the numbers, unfortunately, sex crimes and violence and et cetera in this world, it's not exactly being conducted by middle-aged women or women in their 20s. There's a reason that Olivia Benson is a household name.
That's her second SVU reference this episode. That's impressive.
What can I say? I'm waiting for the day that a trip to New York will end up with me pointing down at the ground going, and then calling the cops. Yeah. And then just hearing that in my head. No. Yeah. I don't wish for that. But safety, even when you're not intending to create it, is what women naturally do for each other, I believe. And it leads to amazing sex. And it leads to your mind being so free of like, okay, I'm in a safe space. I'm in a space where that person's going to listen to me. I can imagine anything I want now. So now I can have a fantasy while I'm having sex. Now I can imagine this person. I can close my eyes and this person's wearing a pirate costume and they are a damsel in distress or something. It doesn't matter. But we can imagine anything as long as we're safe. Because as women, unfortunately, whether we are trans, whether we are queer, whether we are cis, safety is unfortunately something on we walk out the door and we're like, am I safe? And that's
Yeah.
something that
Yeah.
cis men don't have to worry about. That's why we see them hiking alone and camping alone and living the
Right.
world with a very different step.
2 episodes ago, I told the story of my first sexual encounter with a man, which I'm not going to get into. We'd have to put another trigger warning in here, but it was everything you'd expect it to be.
Yuck.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, thank you. And I blamed myself just for not even realizing it at the time. And it's so easy to do.
Yeah,
just,
and
like,
it's
walk
and
into
it's
that.
never going to be your fault. Unfortunately,
No.
everyone makes choices, and one thing we learn is that as women, no matter what, we gotta safety first.
I feel like you should just stab first and ask questions later. My bad. It was too much like maybe a fucking situation, so you got stabbed in the leg. I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry.
The thing is, in my situation, I didn't even know until I got home and went to the
Yeah,
bathroom
and that's crazy.
that he took the condom off. Yeah.
Not cool.
Not cool at all.
Mm-mm.
Definitely Olivia Benson based.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I don't want to get too much into that, but another question I've been pondering, in my circumstance, like I wasn't a man, I was a trans woman pretending to be a man. So my relationships were very sapphic, but I have found there are straight couples that have a very sapphic feeling relationship. Do you think men are capable of finding that sort of connection with a woman?
Yeah, they're just not totally straight, probably. I can tell you that, man. They're 100% bisexual.
Okay.
Yeah, I've never. The closest male friend that I made here in Austin, Texas, was married to a woman who showed more interest in me than she did in him. So that was already like these weird alarms going off. And he would rather, instead of spend time with her, stay in his office playing video games with his buddies online and just drink. You know, alcoholism, I think, is the greatest mask of anything. So I saw a lot of tension there, but they were great friends. They slept in separate bedrooms all the time, and they were great friends, great roommates, and they did the bills. But I would consider that to be not sapphic, but more like two women living together. It felt like that. I rarely thought about this man having a penis or a sex drive, because he would sit down over a beer and say, I don't feel anything for anybody. And I'm like, oh, are you asexual?
Yeah.
I am in my office and I see a hot girl pass by and I don't feel anything. I'm like, what about your wife? Rarely. And I'm not going to push, and be like, are you
Right.
gay? But I'm just like, that's so interesting. Well, as long as you're happy was my overall conclusion. But I think
Yeah.
men, whether they are exploring
I see what you did there.
or
Happy. That's another word for gay.
So yeah, it's possible. They're just definitely, as Wendy said, they're totally bisexual or curious, at least, because the men that I've grown closest to in my life have always had a sense of flamboyancy. My best friend in New York came to a party I hosted back in Miami. I called it a beatnik party, to kind of an homage of like poets and stuff in like the 60s and 70s. And he is a 6'2" bearded white male, and he put on a leather mini skirt, a crop top, put on red lipstick, and he wrote a poem of what he would imagine it would have been like to have grown up as a girl. And the very woman that he was dating helped him get ready. So there was this comfort and confidence, and those are the men that I still have in my life. It takes a very specific man, a very specific mentality and perspective to have some sort of sapphic, or even queer, I would say more so than sapphic, relationship with a woman.
It's interesting. And I think that you're right. I think a lot of the relationships that seem sapphic, that are straight presenting, like there's got to be something more there. I mean, obviously there was in my sense. I think of my ex, the woman that I was married to for 11 years. We got engaged after only dating for a year and got married a year after that, which is long enough at that time. But she moved in after like a month and a half of us seeing each other. It was very U-Haul vibes. I don't know, just the desire was there.
And did she love you? Would you think that there was like a sensibility of queerness there?
I think so.
Okay.
I think so. I don't think either of us understood it at the time, because we were trying so hard to match society's
Oh my
standard.
God, yeah. I mean, and
Like
you have
so desperate for that.
Yeah.
Being a youth pastor and working at a church at the time, I had to hide the fact that we lived together for 2 years
Of course.
until we got married.
Out of wedlock? How dare
Yeah.
you?
Yeah. But I will say, I think my record was 27 times in one night
What
that I
are
made her come.
her?
Yeah.
What is she? What? Is this your ex-wife?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I mean, it was a long night.
I understand.
I mean, some
Yeah.
people can do that though, like 17.
Yeah.
Last time I saw my lover, I would say it was a consistent for a week, about 14 times a day, because we knew we only had a week.
Oh.
So just breakfast to dinner, wake up, breakfast to dinner. It's just, when you have a week, you're just like, let me just release all of this. But yeah, I'm always impressed by the woman's body that is receiving and
Yeah.
is capable of recharging like that, because
As a trans woman with a aftermarket vulva, oh, it's like I would love to say the promised land, but that doesn't feel as real. It's like watching a flower unfold, like
when
in
you are
someone else.
giving, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, it's so beautiful. I don't experience it in the same way. Like the neo, they call it a neoclitoris that they
Mhm.
built for me is so much smaller than like the
Mhm.
actual organ that wraps around the entire
Mhm.
vaginal
Mhm.
canal, and like I don't have that.
Yeah.
So mine is much more localized, but I still come. I've come multiple times in a night, and that was new for me. Like what? But the other crazy part is you don't have to stop. Like there's not like an end to sex until you just decide like we're done, I guess.
Lesbian sex is lengthy.
Yeah, it's like you gotta carve out a couple
It's a
hours
marathon, okay?
sometimes.
Yeah, you grab breakfast, you let them have a shower, and then like right out of the
Snacking
shower,
and
then
fucking.
yeah, you gotta
Yeah.
recharge. There has to be something.
And like the
Eggs.
full day of foreplay, like every touch as they go by, every smell that like, oh my God, when that desire is activated and their skin like literally tastes good. Like I know you haven't showered in a day or two, and I'm not tasting some scent. It's like you taste delicious.
And I hope you guys get to listen to the latest part of the story, because I just added a new sex scene where I specifically talk about how the sweat intertwined in two bodies is okay.
Ooh.
Even though sweat can be like this gross thing, it's okay if it's like during sex. Just if you really love a person, that sweat. So just kind of, you were saying like, oh, if you didn't shower or your musk or something.
Yeah.
I just read a new sex scene and I'm really excited to read it. I'll be reading it like this week. It's in the back of a Mercedes.
Nice. Well, maybe if you'd be up for it, we could add one of like a piece of one of your stories to the end of this podcast to give someone like a sneak peek.
Yeah, 100%.
Would be
Yeah,
awesome.
that would be really cool.
Yeah.
100%.
I wanted to ask one more question just as a writer. Is there a line in a story that you've written, or is there something that you've written that you weren't necessarily planning on writing, but it just like came out and made you like physically stop for a second after writing it?
I think it was definitely that line of like, and this just made it all the more desirable as I explored my newfound world of Sapphic snacks. And just like Sapphic snacks. And that's paraphrasing it, but it was a no-brainer. And we're actually trademarking that for some of the merch and stuff, because it was just so... I was like,
I would love a Sapphic snack. I would love one of those, please. Where do we pick them up at?
I'm in Pennsylvania right now.
At my link in bio, you can grab a Sapphic snack sweatshirt. But yeah, I think for me it was like that realization as like somebody who already experienced all of this. I'm like, I want to create these little taglines that can be memorable because of my experience in digital marketing. I'm aware of what it'll take. And yeah, people love Sapphic snacks. People love it when I say that it was just a flavor that I had not tasted in this new world of Sapphic snacks.
I want it on a pair of underwear.
Got it. You got it.
Hell yeah.
Can it just be tattooed on a vagina? Like,
just like tattooed right over the top.
I'll be back. I'm getting a Sapphic snack. Joe, I adore you. I think you're so interesting, and I love the fact that we're now having guests on the podcast, and it makes us experience such different perspectives with people. I love learning new things. I'm such a curious girl. You and Siren are writers. You write, Siren does poetry. Like, I dabbled when I was younger, but I'm not as brilliant with words as you are. And how lovely you make them sound. No. It's not that I'm not good with words. I can be definitely good with words, but sometimes it's not all the time that I can be such a poet with like my sentence, and it takes a little bit longer for me to think of something like that when just like if you're an artist with things.
Yeah.
Some comes easily and some are made. I'm more made with the things I say, and it's more easy for you too. So
And it might look that way. I don't know for you, Joe, but like there are some points when I was writing that I just couldn't find it. It didn't click. There was a piece that was missing that I couldn't figure out, and returning to it later sometimes helps. So there's definitely strategies to like overcome writer's block, but there are those other lines that the word comes out before you even think it. Maybe it's more with poetry, but like it's so poetic the way that it falls forward like it was meant to be on the page the whole time.
And you have to love words, so I wonder, Wendy, if you're talking about just how we speak or how we write.
I mean, it's definitely more how you write and then how you speak your words that you've written. Because hearing you both, because I've heard you both read your literature, and I've heard Siren read her poetry, and it's just the way that you say it and speak it.
So it's the way we emote, and I agree. Siren has a lovely way to emote her words.
It just entrances you and holds you in place until you're done speaking.
It really feels like a narration or the emotion behind the words. I agree. Yeah, it's something that I at least take a lot of pride in when people give me feedback on my narration. It's important because a story is just a story, but if you can't tell it well, then it's not going to be as
right. You're not
captivating.
going to hold someone. You both hold me. It's hard to hold me when you speak, and you both can hold me. So like,
Nice.
hold me tiny dancer.
I've been trying to come up this whole season so far with like a question to end with, something we can ask everybody that's easy, lighthearted, and I want to ask, what's a small thing that has made you really, really happy lately?
As somebody on the spectrum, I would say something as simple as coffee. Once I make my coffee, whether I'm grinding my own beans and kind of making it really ritualistic or exploring the coffee scene in Austin, I love tasting. And I think that's so appropriate for this podcast and for the name of your podcast. But I love the sense of taste, and I'm a big foodie.
Maybe it should be, what's something you've tasted lately that made you really, really happy? Maybe that should be the question.
Say pussy. Say pussy.
But it can't be that. It can't be that.
Pete.
No, but I love coffee. I think that's a great answer.
Yeah, no. I mean, it's something that I tasted that makes me really, really happy. I mean, I just made some really wonderful chicken soup today. I'm trying to get some collagen in my system. I'm trying to be really gut healthy because I was down and out, as you guys knew, for about 8 weeks. Skin issues, skin infections, antibiotics, like terrible, terrible malpractice happened to me. And so lots of collagen, and it was so delicious. Cilantro, chives, garlic, drumsticks, chicken broth, and a little bit of chili crisp oil with sesame oil on top. So just a nice broth for the gut and for the body.
Now you're talking dirty.
And for the tongue.
And for the tongue. I actually slurped a bowl of it in my live last night, and people really enjoyed watching that.
I bet they did. Well, Joe, thank you so much for being a guest on the podcast.
Thank you,
today.
Joe.
Of course.
It's been fantastic having you and talking to you. I hope that maybe in season 2, your volume 1 collection has been published and you can come on here and plug it.
Yeah.
But where can people find you?
I'm only on TikTok as Joe Author. And, we're growing gradually. We're not doing any of these advertisements. I want it to be as organic as possible. I want to build a real community all over the states. And then live readings will be scheduled. I think once we hit the 10,000 mark, my first stop would be New York City. My friend has a bar that she already hosts a Sapphic book club at in Chelsea in New York. And she's like, whenever you're ready and whenever you have enough following, I'm ready for your readings.
I'll be there. You let me know.
Yeah,
I'll be there.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah. That's like a 2-hour drive for me. I'll be there.
We'll start in New York and then probably Boston and Philly, and I'll do that tri-state, and then I'll do Miami, Fort Lauderdale. Nice big LGBTQIA scenes down there that I have some pull in. So there's stuff. There's stuff that's gonna happen. And the book doesn't have to be published for the reading to
No.
happen, but
No.
we are self-publishing, which is why subscriptions and lives are so important, because it's literally the viewers are helping me do this, as this is my full-time job right now. So
We're really proud of you. I'm
yeah,
really
Yes.
proud
thank
of you.
you. Thank you.
Manifesting all of this for you because you're amazing.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
So I think Wendy and I will mute our microphones and maybe light a candle or two, and we'll all lock in for a bit of a story.
Yes. This is from the story Irresistible. It's about Ariana, my first kiss, who years later asked me what I wanted for my birthday, and I answered, you. So she had me meet her at a bar, and this is what happened. As we reached her car, Ariana leaned against the trunk, her back against the cool metal. I pressed my body on hers, my hand finding the small of her back before slowly moving down to her waist and then to her luscious ass. There is no need to be coy as we get to the heated climax of this story. The sudden touch sent a jolt through us, our bodies reacting to every electrifying connection. With a mischievous smile, I reached for her keys, which she had dropped into my hand earlier. I unlocked the car and gallantly opened the back door. Once settled, we immediately locked the doors, a necessary precaution. Our bodies instinctively drew closer in the confined space, the connection between us growing stronger with each passing second. As our lips met in a fiery kiss, the world outside the car faded into insignificance. Our focus was solely one another's bodies, the intensity of our shared desire blurring everything else. The tight space filled with an intoxicated mix of her perfume and the faint leather scent of the car seats. The only light filtering was that of the garage outside. Our hands were everywhere, exploring each other with a curiosity that was both innocent and charged with desire. My fingers traced the contours of her face and got lost in her hair, while her hands roamed my back, her touch sending electric jolts down my spine. The fabric of our clothing did little to dampen the heat that was radiating from our bodies, so naturally, we took them off as quickly as possible. Within minutes, our heavy heated breaths began to fog up the windows, creating a misty veil that separated us from the world outside. In that moment, I felt a droplet of sweat trickle down my neck, disappearing into our entwined bodies. An understanding passed between us, and I broke the silence. I don't care, because it's your sweat, I confessed. My voice hushed in a whisper. Ariana's eyes sparkled in response, her smile lighting up her face. I don't care either, because it's your sweat on my body, she echoed.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you for having me, guys. This was so much fun.
Absolutely. Thank you for being a part of this. We appreciate you.
You guys need to come out with merch.
That's a wrap on episode 6 of Tongue First. If this episode moved something in you, share it with someone who needs it. Leave a review, follow the show, and find Jo Del Carmen on TikTok at JO_author. Her merch and links are at linktree/womeninpaperperks. If you want more bonus episodes, behind-the-scenes moments, and the full after-hours community, head over to the Tongue First Patreon. The link is in the bio. This episode of Tongue First was hosted by Aubrey Siren Jones and Wendy Reeves. Edited and produced by Katie K. Rock Murray, Wendy Reeves, and Aubrey Jones. Special thanks to Brooke Dale for the intro and outro voiceovers, to Jo Del Carmen for bringing her whole self into the room, and Bodera McIntyre for keeping the guests coming, the socials running, and the Patreon community growing. A special thank you to our Pillow Talk members, Tay Marie, Valicera, Brooklyn C, and Siren. We see you, and we appreciate you more than you know. New episodes drop every Monday, Until next time, stay curious, stay queer, and don't forget to lick responsibly.